Hi everyone, it's Emily Wishall with Wishall Wellness Live in Alignment, and we're talking today about this idea of good posture versus true posture. Many people know or have heard that one of the benefits of receiving Rolfing is better posture. And there are times when I meet someone and share with them that I'm a certified Rolfer, and they're like, oh, that helps posture, right? And they immediately do what we're taught, the shoulders back, chest up, and sit or stand really straight up in a way that's really rigid. And as much as I appreciate that they're wanting to improve their posture for my benefit, I often say, oh, that's okay, you don't need to do that. Why? Well, because this way of holding ourselves actually creates a lot of pain and strain. I myself held myself in this very rigid, good posture for years. I remember being in first grade and being taught that, to sit at our desk, to sit up straight, have your hands on the table, shoulders back. I remember from a young age holding in my stomach and holding chest up to look really put together in this really efforted way to show up as good. I had good posture. I have it together. And the first time that I received Rolfing, I went through what is called the 10 series, which is 10 different sessions that work through the body. Each has its own goal. And so it's about halfway through this process. I think I had just received session 5, and I was out on a walk that evening by myself, and all of a sudden I had this newfound realization of how I was holding my body and this way that felt really easy. So to give some context to that, as I was walking, I realized, it's really easy to walk. I'm gliding. It felt smooth and graceful. So I checked in with my body and I realized, I'm standing up straight. I'm perfectly aligned, but I'm not actively working to stand up straight. So then that left me really curious, and I wondered, well, what is going on? And I realized my structure, my spine, was supporting me, and all of my large muscle groups, everything else could then just be a bit easier. They could just let go a bit. So that's where this idea of good posture versus true posture comes in. And I also realized in that moment that all of my life I'd been holding myself in a way that was really efforted and really put on, and partly because that's how I was taught, but also as a way, it was an imposed pattern that I had inflicted upon myself to show up in the world as really put together, as good, as I had it all together. I was okay. And I realized in this moment walking, when it felt easy, that I had been faking it all of my life. I'd been presenting myself, projecting myself out in the world in a way that was inauthentic to how I felt inside. And not only was it super efforted, it was really, really exhausting. And this new way of walking, and don't worry, I'm going to give you a tip so you can have an experience of this yourself in just a minute. But this new way of walking, I realized that I was supported from the front of my spine. Now, we don't tend to think about the front of our spine. When we think of the spine, we think of the back. But if you've ever seen a vertebra, particularly a lumbar vertebra, you know that it actually goes really, really deep within us. The lumbar is the lower part of your spine. So our spine goes deep within us, and lots of things hang from the front of the spine. So I personally love this connection of thinking of the front of my spine throughout my day to help this armored presence, and it's a pattern, this projection of put on and together, that I am continually working with to show up more authentically and more true to how I really am inside. So the practice to help for you yourself to experience what does good posture versus true posture feel like. So I want you to find for yourself what is your own true posture, and it's going to be an ongoing journey. You might need some body work. You might need continued daily self check-ins for yourself. It's all about building your own self-awareness, your own body awareness, cultivating a deeper level of conversation with your body. But to start, before I have you really get into the practice, I want you to, for yourself, think of this reference point of the front of your spine. And what does that mean? And how can you find that? So, you maybe even just place your hands kind of going down, imagining your spine from the front, and just feeling where is that within you? Where is your spine? So here my hand is on my sternum, so it would be my thoracic spine behind me. So can I imagine that? So hopefully you have some sort of feeling of the front of your spine. And I want you to have both of your feet on the ground for this. So if they're not already, go ahead and sit and put both feet on the ground. I had my legs crossed, so I'll put both my feet on the ground. And I invite you to close your eyes. So close your eyes, and as your eyes are closed, feel your feet contacting the floor. Feel them rooting in, connecting deep into the ground. And as you feel them rooting and connecting, just give a gentle pressure of your feet. And feel, if you gently press them into the ground, feel that connection up the legs, into the pelvis, into your core. And if you can't feel it, it's okay. This is all just a practice, just an inquiry. And now with your eyes closed, I want you to take a few cleansing breaths. So breathe in, and when you breathe out, if it feels good, breathe out through your mouth, and just let go of anything that's holding, any tensions. And as you breathe, feel if you can soften from the inside out. So as you breathe, bring your breath in, visualize it going down your spine, all the way to your pelvis. And then as you exhale, it's traveling back up, and you're just softening. You're easing into it, and you're feeling and visualizing that front of your spine. Let's take a couple more breaths like this. So breathing in and feeling the breath traveling down the front of the spine to the pelvis. And then as you exhale, traveling back up and out. Just letting it be easy, letting it feel good, really feeling the connection, establishing your own sense of curiosity and awareness of where the front of your spine is. And now as you're sitting here, imagine, if you think of a puppet string, if a puppet string were just directly on top of your head pulling you up. It's just a gentle lift. So you're still aware of the front of your spine, but you're also feeling that gentle lift of that string just gently lifting you up to the ceiling. And can you feel from that string, can you feel a subtle lifting sensation up? And just be with it. It's okay. Feel whatever you feel. There's no wrong or right way. But we're working with this connection of your feet on the floor, feeling the ground support, contacting and being aware of the front of your spine, and then feeling the string just gently lifting you up. So I'm going to let that go. I'm going to end the practice here just for time's sake, but this is something that I invite you to work with every day at the start of your day to really establish for yourself this true posture, this way of really being in an easeful, natural alignment way, as opposed to what we're taught of this armored shoulders, back, stomach, and this really hard way of holding ourselves. And it's not only hard and efforted, but it's not true to what your experience is on the inside. And I find with this natural alignment, your true posture, you get to show up and interact with those in your life in a way that's more true or organic to you. So I hope this was helpful. Of course, if you have questions, just reach out to me. Questions might come up, and just be with them and just allow your process to be what it is. And I invite you again to just try this practice every day. So I look forward to hearing how this practice was for you. And if you're not already on my newsletter list, I invite you to join my newsletter. You can go to my homepage. I'll put a link out to my website in the comments below. It's wishalwellness.com, and you'll see the sign up right immediately on the homepage. I'm doing an interview series with different women leaders that I am personally connected with and really admire and appreciate their work. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. I have my first interview coming up about 2 weeks from today, actually. So I'm really excited to share her with you. She's a treat, and I know we'll have a lot of good tips. So you can sign up for my newsletter on the website. Have a wonderful start to your week back after Labor Day weekend. Cheers.